Chronically Blue. Hello, all of my sleepy bears. My name's Chronically Blue. Welcome back to some more Sonic X Shadow Generations. Second verse, time is the first. Went ahead and narrowed everything down, as well as this is the evidence that shows that all of the times that you got for the bosses previously have now been replaced with hard bosses, and your times are no longer valid. So fun, love that. That means that we get to go through and redo the bosses, which there weren't that many. I thought it was way more actually, but it turned out there was only like 3 or 4, so I guess I could probably make it through it. But there is a lot of challenges, and I'm over here showing you the bolts that I find. I will be showing you the last of the bolts because there's only 80 total, and we are already at 72. But for every 2 challenges that there were normally, there's now 1 hard challenge for it. So the challenge total went from 20 to 30. Fun. We will be doing one of those challenges right now, actually. And this one involves pillars that move quickly. So as long as you keep moving forward, you will not get crushed. Do keep in mind that because these are harder, it means that they're going to be way less forgiving. They're going to be some of the hardest challenges you've ever done. So you better make sure that you have really good reflexes, you have a firm grip on your controller, and I don't know, I guess thumb grips would also help for the thumbsticks. But as long as you are staying aware of your surroundings, especially with this thing, you'll be quite fine. One thing I can say specifically is that there are no little collection tokens in these super hard stages or challenges. That is very much a positive. So I very much appreciate that, because then you really only have to focus about getting it all done in one go, especially because there's no checkpoints, which yes, that will anger you for the most part, but after a bit you will start to see that that is actually kind of a blessing in disguise, because it means that even if you mess up early on, you're going to be starting exactly where you were if you had died like halfway through anyway. So it's really helpful, even if it doesn't really seem that way at first. Once you fail a few times, or 8 like I did, you start to see that it is a blessing in disguise. But once we do that, we can see that it does have an S rank on it, but it does not have a bell on it, which means that we could not get a collectible from the little hard challenges. I have not tried to beat a hard boss at this point in time. I might soon, but again, as of right now, this is just from what I've gone off of and the stuff that I have recorded in order to try to make sense of it all. I also tried to narrow down and cut out as much of the filler as possible, because I will do that. I will absolutely meander, try to explore stuff, and try to locate more of the bolts or little treasure chests. Speaking of which, there is going to be a very clever treasure chest area coming up. But right here we have the music box, and what is in it? It is Final Hunt from Shadow the Hedgehog. We are pretty close actually to getting all the music boxes. I just have to find them all now. Which again, that's okay. I can handle that. We are going to be very close to finishing collecting all of the music boxes, and that alone makes it absolutely worth it. I can guarantee that not next episode, but the episode after that, I will be going through and we will be completing stage 2 of Radical Highway. Then we will be going through and getting the S ranks to Radical Highway 1 and 2, then getting all the treasure chests. And I'd say probably the episode after that will mostly be challenges, and I'll be able to narrow that down after like focusing on it and trying to complete all the remaining challenges. Here we have the surf spin from Kingdom Valley, which is the only other challenge I decided to try. Again, it is difficult, no checkpoints, but that's okay. What we have to do is we have to break 1 singular surf spin box, as well as complete the level within 45 seconds. Sounds easy, right? It's not. There's a lot of bombs along the way, and you only have so many rings. You can try hard in order to jump off that ramp. It does help increase you a little bit, but if you just find a way to jump and make sure to time your jumps perfectly, as well as make sure that using the left and right side does drag you towards that specific way. Once you have all that in mind, you will be able to make yourself ahead quite well. And this is honestly giving me Crash Bandicoot flashbacks about the time trials, so that's kind of fun. With that, we've already gone ahead and finished 2 of the extreme difficulty challenges, meaning that there are only 8 left, and that is quite alright. I like that number. The closer we are to 0, the better, honestly. But here I'm going to be showing you, just because there's either going to be some challenges coming up, or there's going to be some bolts, anything like that, and you know, if it is in there and it is valuable, I will include it, especially with this part. In fact, what I'm probably going to be doing is, for the rest of the Let's Plays, I'm going to try to be sticking specifically to post-commentary, so I'm able to record as much as humanly possible and not have to worry about good commentary, and just being able to leave it up for myself later on for the editing, so I'm able to narrow it down specifically to the good parts of when we complete the challenges, this, that, or the other. And what is most likely going to happen is, as I said, the first episode for Monday next is going to be getting the tokens and such and completing Radical Highway 2, so then we can unlock the treasure chests and just be completely fine with that. Wednesday is going to be completing the challenges, both overworld and regular stages, and then Friday is most likely going to be doing the bosses and ending it with the final boss, so we can be like, yay, we did it! I'm almost certain that's exactly what's going to happen, and don't worry, we will show off the bolts and the rocket next episode. Oh dear, Shadow, how are you this fine morning, evening? It's hard to say.
No, we're not building a weapon, honest.
Quite so. We found what appears to be the framework of a rocket. Just imagine, if we can complete it, we can slip the bonds of this ceaseless expanse.
Yeah, we can fly out of this white void.
However, we lack the speed and tenacity to search for the necessary parts, you see.
And we're lazy.
Hush. So if you don't mind, could you look for the parts that could help in reconstruction?
We'll save you a seat on the escape rocket, buddy.
Now, the thing I didn't know is that after you talk to them the first time, you can then press the triangle button again, or Y, depending on what you're playing on, or X, depending on what you're playing on as well. I hate controllers. And you will be able to donate the parts 20 at a time. So if you really just want to do it as you feel it, go ahead, be my guest. I prefer to try to wait until everything's all done, so I'm sure that I have all the parts I need. Because there's quite a few games where you can just submit some of the collectibles as you collect them, and if there's like 25 and you're down to like 3, you really just have no idea if you have all of them or not, because you've been submitting like 5 at a time or something like that. It's unique, it's a weird thing, but it happens, I can tell you that much. But there is another bolt there, which is fantastic. I will tell you that locating the bolts is not easy. It is quite difficult, unfortunately. There is no radar on the map that shows you where the bolts are, so what I had to do, and I did this off screen actually, not on this episode, but the next one, I watched someone go and get all 80 bolts in one fell swoop, and I went to each area. Very boring, yes I know, which is why I did it off screen. It is very similar to what I had to do in order to obtain the blue coins from Super Mario Sunshine. Also, not fun, but also had to be done. You know, you just gotta be able to know when to call it and when you are like too far in, and when you're like at just the right amount in order to go a little bit above and beyond. Because yeah, sure, you want to have that integrity of being like, oh yeah, I can do this on my own, but at the same time you gotta realize, okay, listen, it is 3 a.m. This video is supposed to be out in like 2 hours. I'm not gonna find it right now. I might as well call it and just like do what I can in order to just move ahead and be like, you know what, that's alright. We tried our best, we did what we can. We're gonna just keep calm and carry on. Now, I did not notice those until the very last second, but we were able to clear it with 0 milliseconds remaining. And we got, that's right, artwork 85. It's a lot of artwork. And of course, I can heavily guarantee you that next episode there is going to be the reading of the journal. That will absolutely be in the next episode. And then this, I'm unsure how long the credits are going to take, but I will more than happily squeeze in everything. And I was able to find out that specifically for the Shadows Past, it is not a trailer, it's not a clip or a video or a montage, it's just a description of what happens in the game. Isn't that fun? totally makes it worth it. But here I'm showing you where 2 of the little tokens are. I will be showing you the 3rd one in the next episode. Yes, I know I hate to break it up as well, but these are the things that happen when you're recording and you go one at a time. I can't really do it all at once, or else we have issues like the ones that just arised. Now here, this is the little area that you recall from previously, but there is an opening, a gap in the roof, as you can see there, as well as another thing with the final page of the book. But if we go to the little monster alien creature thing, and if we hit it right at that little ledge there, we're able to find yet another bolt, as well as 2 chests, one of them being a song. And this one is Sonic vs. Shadow. And then we got some more artwork, because we just can't have enough of that, and it's artwork number 13. Now here I'm showing you what I do in order to help myself get 50 rings, specifically now that we have Wing Doom, or Dooma Wings, or Wings of Doom, whatever it's called. Just going to the area up here and activating the switches, going through here, just getting the free rings with no worry about failing or anything like that. It really helps. I know it's not an amazing thing, but it's something, and you can just like keep hitting other buttons and respawning there, and it really works. It helps get you the rings that you need in order to be able to move forward and activate Wing Doom. So I know it's not like the most glamorous thing ever, but it does work, and that's what matters. We're not here to analyze everything, you know, we're here to just be like, you know what, it's fine enough, yeah, it's good. Now do keep in mind that when you have Wing Doom on, you are still able to go to other stages like I'm going to show you right now, and that definitely aids in this. And it's the little area that we're at before was Chaos Island, in case you forgot. Because I totally didn't forget. That would be ridiculous. Am I right? Anyway, so yes, we can go back here. And again, no set timer. I want to say it probably changes as you... It's probably different from the overworld to in stage. That's what I really want to believe, because that's what it feels like. It also really feels like a coin flip, and you have no control over what happens or how it happens. I'm sure that's incorrect. I'm sure it is just an invisible timer. I would like to know what the timer is, though, so I'm able to plan accordingly. But I'm sure if they did show that, then people would use it in order to try to get out of bounds and break stuff. Speaking of which, with the Doom Wings, you are indeed able to get out of bounds. I know, I've done it. It's not hard. Because you are flying so high, you can just go right over the little border, and that's about it. The further out you go, the darker it becomes. So, yeah, it's probably just an auto kill if you lose your height or anything like that. But still, we actually caught that in midair, and that was page 24/ the back cover, which is the very final page, which is fantastic. I'm so happy that we have the entire journal done, because now we don't have to worry about it anymore. I just have to read it all next episode, which is going to be so much fun. In fact, it might even be the entire episode. Who knows? But hey, here's a boat right over here. Now we only have 5 left, and that is fantastic. Now there's actually another one right down in here, and if you don't know where this one is, it's going to be right over by the loop-de-loop. So you can either fly right here from the half... Okay, no, you can't. But anyway, there was a spring down there that you're able to go and hit, and it'll just take you upward. But there was also an opening on the other side. Again, not a whole lot. It's kind of... I'm not even sure what the right word to say is. Finding a bolt is a little exciting, but at the same time, you feel dumb after finding it and being like, I've been here like 18 times, how have I not seen this before? So if obliviousness is a word that people use to describe you, I apologize, and you may want to avoid the bolts, actually. And just wait till you get like to a certain point where you have all the different abilities, and then go through and do the 80-in-1 playthrough that someone did. Which, thankfully, it wasn't that bad. I think they did in like 8 minutes, maybe. So that was completely fine. Here we are trying in order to do this little challenge here, if you recall this one. This is one that I had a lot of difficulty on, especially early on. And that is because you have to get the holding perfect, unfortunately, and that is just so difficult. But we will be able to do this in the future as well, because this is a pretty tight time limit. But do remember the difference between holding and the other side of it as well, which is just making sure you get everything done in the correct order. There you go, Shadow. Okay, there we go. We actually had that finished within 2 seconds and 0.35 milliseconds, which is artwork 91. Slowly but surely, we are actually going through and clearing out the different challenges, which is really good. We want to see that progress there. Because the less challenges I have to comb through later, the better. And I can happily inform you that there will be episodes next week. I'm currently going through a very busy patch right now, but it will happen eventually. I promise. You may have noticed that even these episodes were heavily delayed and did not come out at their normal time. Sorry about that. I really can't handle it because of the recording difficulties and the little errors that arose just for no apparent reason, which was so much fun for me. But hey, it's still here anyway. You got take the wins where you can, people. Come on now. Can't expect me to be fantastic. As much as I would love to, that is just not at all possible. Alright, now that we've gone ahead and done all that, we get to go and hit this little spring here. And that would just take us right through there, which has us complete another challenge. Artwork 86. Again, the challenges aren't difficult. Once you complete 1 or 2, they all start to fall into place, and that's what really matters. There are still going to be showing up and trying to get your attention as you are going through the overworld map. They're gonna do that anyway. That's what they did previously, and there's another bolt actually. So now we only have 3 left, and this is where I started to lose my mind because I'm trying really hard to find 3 really tiny bolts and this gigantic overworld map where I've been through so many times, and my goodness, it is annoying. But I will be more than happy to go over the details of the bolts, where they are, all that, in the next episode. I know, quite a bit to happen here. It's been a short time, but it's also felt like it's been a long time. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you all next time. Goodbye, my city bears.